hit start on YouTube. I'm gonna press the go live here. Always takes my YouTube audience a little longer to hop on. And yeah, don't go anywhere. Time travel is true. Accessing the future you. That's the title for tonight. And I think all you have to do is be a human being on this planet to hear what I'm going to say and put it to good use. So stick with me. I'm going to go live on IG right now. 1 minute. 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's up? What's up? Thanks for the thumbs up. Uh-oh, now I'm live on IG. What's up, everybody? Welcome, you guys. Welcome, you guys. Happy Saturday night. What's up? What's up? Good to see you guys. What's up? Hey, Missy. Good to see you. How you doing? Hey, Freedom. It's been forever. That's ironic. That's your name, Freedom Forever. Hey, Betty. Good to see you guys. On my way home from a restaurant in Hellertown. Oh, PA. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Welcome. Hey, Katie. How you been? Good to see you guys. Welcome, everybody on YouTube. Welcome, you guys. Hey, I made the title of tonight's live stream rhyme. What's up, Nathan? Good to see you guys. Great to see you. Time travel is real. Time travel is true. Accessing the future you. That's what we're going to talk about. Hey, Maria. How you doing? Welcome, you guys. Welcome. Hey, Karen. My God, it's been forever since I saw some of you guys. Good to see you. Yeah. Time travel is true. Accessing the future you. It's a fantastic subject, and all you have to do is be a human being with ears. And I was interviewed by Mark Atwood last week. I'm gonna send it to you. Send it to me, Katie. That's awesome. Congratulations. That's so cool. Hey, Holly. Good to see you. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Time travel is true. Accessing the future you. Because there is a future you. Listen, there's not only a future you, but that future you is beckoning you, is calling you all the time. And you know how you can tune into that, right? Absolutely. If you've ever gone into like a dressing room or a three-way mirror, and you look down and it just goes on forever, that's all you. Those are all, and those are the infinite potentials and timelines of you. And everything that you're looking for in this life is in one of those timelines. And you have every capacity to shift into that timeline and become that person, that version of you, that personality who has those things that you may or may not have been seeking, right? And it's a great analogy, right, Kate? Because it gives people a true visual of what we know quantum physics has showed us, that there is an infinite amount of potentials that you can, and listen, you navigate these potentials with your choices every single day. Hey, Flowers, it's good to see you again. Every single day, right? We are defined by our choices. And many of us don't realize that, and then we bemoan our fate as if fate had anything to do with it. You have free will, and you have an incredible creative consciousness. And so whether you are aware of it or not, you are creating all the time. I promise you that. Hey, Toby, how you feeling, brother? I hope everything is going well with your recovery, man. You're creating all the time with your thoughts and feelings. Your thoughts don't just stay in your head. You know that, right? They go out. They interconnect with this incredible. If you could see it, you probably would never stop looking at it. But they connect with this incredible tapestry of the co-conscious creation that is the fabric of our reality, that we are literally creating, right? And nothing happens without our permission on some level. We can only take and play the victim card so far into our adult lives. And many of us are still playing it. Many of us are addicted to it because it's easier and because that's usually the mindset with which we're raised, right? And be that as it may, at some point in time, if you really want to have a happy life and see the things you've been looking for, thank you, Peace with Pam. That's so kind of you. So look forward to your Saturday Night Lives. Thank you, Peace. That's so kind. Because if it's truly happiness and freedom you're after, and most people are trying to bring something into their life, you know, whether it be more money, whether it be, you know, a soulmate, a twin flame, whatever you want to call it. I always tell people, you know, people who are having trouble finding a significant other, I'm like, you know, would you be looking for the type of person you are? Because if not, then maybe it's time to make some changes, right? Like there's always a solution and there's always someone for everyone and something for everyone. If there wasn't, you wouldn't want it. Do you understand? And it's trying to find you. It's always trying to find you. So the question is, what's in its way? Because if it's seeking you and you're seeking it, that's right. Turn away oftentimes, let go of the attachment to it, and it will show up. Sometimes it'll show up very, very fast. And all you have to do is let go of your attachment to it, your emotional, egoic attachment to it. If you can create from a place of knowing, of knowledge, that you already have that thing has been delivered, that is freedom. That's the person who sits back with that little smile and smirk, and you're like, that mofo has a secret, and I want to know what it is. Well, the secret is he's not worried. He knows. She knows, right? And there's a magic to that, you guys. Let me see here. Good evening. Nice. I made your live feed. I'm good. 4 to 5 days of hives, but I have great doctors. I'm sending you love and healing energy, Toby, and everyone else should too. Toby's on the mend. He had surgery on his brain, and he's an identical twin, and he's a Leo, and he's my brother from another mother. And please send my friend healing energy and prayers because he's a good dude. He's been with me as long as I've been doing this, and sending you love, bro. I'm glad you made it. Anyway, so even with Toby, like the more Toby can see his body and feel into how great it's going to feel when he's healed, the more his body will follow him into that future. I promise you, that is the law. That is how it works. You know, our thoughts are electric, and our feelings are magnetic, and they come from this incredible heart chakra, whatever, you know, energy center, whatever you want to call it. This it comes from our heart. Our heart is so powerfully magnetic. And so when you tune into the feeling, if Toby starts to spend a little more time each day tuning into the feeling and imagining what it's going to be like when he's totally healed, when he's off the bed, when he's free, when he's doing everything that he used to do and loves to do, the more he can feel into that, the more his body is going to follow him right into that future. The same way you wake up in the morning and you think of coffee, and before you know it, you're making the coffee. Your body follows you right into the thought, you know, or the bathroom, or the shower. You know, as above, so below. It's applicable in every way. You know, I was just telling a realization I had. You know, I was talking to an incredible psychic who's doing some amazing work. His name is Christopher LaPrath. He's here in town, and we're gonna record a podcast tomorrow. But you know, he was telling me, I had a session with him. And I've had sessions with many psychics before, and I've never been kind of blown away by any of them. But I was pretty blown away by my session with him, and he was telling me about some things that came from when I was in the womb with my twin brother, and so many things. You know, like you guys know, I'm all about consciousness. I'm all about getting to the bottom of the onion and making sure that I'm not running any programs I'm not conscious of. But he told me some things about some programs that I was, you know, my jaw was on the ground. I had to admit to myself that he was absolutely right. And I had no idea I was running that kind of program. You know, I'll give you an example so you understand the kind of work that he does. He told me, he said, Faust, because he works on letting go, you know, with your permission, like letting go of these kind of programs that are shackles to us and that come from, either in the womb or very early in life, or maybe even a past life in quotes, obviously, since they're all simultaneous. But he said to me, he said, Faust, you don't need to give. And I was like, but I want to give. He's like, you don't need to give. You feel the need to give. He was like, and I'm telling you, you can be as consciously generous as you want, but it shouldn't be a need. And I was like, holy shit. He was right. He's absolutely right. I do feel it is a need. It's not so much a conscious choice. It's a conscious need. But I was like, damn, that's a, like, how did he know that? He's really good. So we hit it off. He's here, but like, I was telling him, I was like, man, we are so. It's amazing how sensitive we are when we're in the womb, and how sensitive mom is in the womb, right? We're learning all these things about the physical ramifications of exposure that mom has when she's in the womb, right? Stay with me, I'm going somewhere with this. Like exposure to plastic. It causes, if it was a male baby, then that too much exposure to plastic at a certain period in mom's pregnancy causes low testosterone. It causes physical maladies in the male, where their bottom half is closer to their anus, more like halfway between a woman. All these physical ramifications of just the slightest exposure to certain physical things. And I'm like, you know what? Like, after learning what I learned with my session with Christopher Laprath, the psychic, I was like, we are so sensitive when we are in the womb, not just to physical, but also to emotional stress and trauma that mom is going through. Because everything he told me came from the time in the womb, and because of the amount of trauma my mother and fear my mother had while I was in the womb, which makes perfect sense because my mom 5 years before she had me and my twin had another set of identical twins, and it was disastrous, and only one survived, and he was extremely handicapped, and so it was very traumatic for them. So it makes sense. Anyway, that's kind of a long story short, but I just realized, as above, so below. A lot of us take these programs into our life, and we have no idea, but they come from a very, very young place, sometimes so young that we're in the womb, and it makes sense. If mom and baby are so sensitive physically, then they're also sensitive emotionally, and energetically, of course. So I don't know. It's just an insight I had, and I was like, that has to be true, and it comes out in our lives. So back to the title for everyone just joining, and I made tonight's title rhyme. Time travel is true, accessing the future you, because as I started to say, there is I was talking to Toby because Toby is in a situation right now where he's recovering, right? And I was encouraging him to make sure he's spending a little time each day with his eyes closed, kind of tuning into and imagining as viscerally as he can, doing everything that he used to do, because his body's going to follow that thought and that feeling, particularly that feeling, because it's the feeling that is magnetic. It's the feeling that is drawing your future you to you. And your future you is like, give me more, give me more of that, more gratitude knowing that it's already happened. And it's absolutely within your capacity to do this. Let me see, yes, always a solution, truth, okay. Just this past week, I put my house to sell. I let go of the timing, and yesterday it went under contract. That's right, peace. That's how it works. I could sit here and rattle off examples all day where I was like, you know what? This is going to be what it's going to be. And I let it go. And the moment I let it go, 1, 2, 3 pitches, game over. I'm like, what? It happened just like that? That's it? It went from like a nightmare to resolved. Like over and over. Everything, like it's crazy how much power we have, and how much the outcome that we're holding on to and hoping for and dreading can turn around in like a millisecond. In an instant, everything can change if you're willing to let go of the outcome, right? Why? Because you're a divine creator. Because by holding on to that outcome, by holding on to the way that you've imagined it must show up in your life, you have crushed the universe's ability to create so many potentials for it to change for you. Because you're holding on to it, it has to be so it's one way, and you've crushed those probabilities. And I'm saying don't get involved like that. Do whatever you have to do to let go. And so it'll show up. You'll usher in the outcome, right? And when I say time travel is true, I know I'm not the only one who has experienced, like I have 27 minutes to get someplace. I'm gonna need some magic. Not stressed, not like, more like, like Harry Potter, or more like the task of a wizard, or someone who's maybe already done this before. And I end up where I need to be like 3 minutes early when the GPS and everything else in my mind said, you're going to be about 26 minutes late. And I was like, I wonder if I can do a little time traveling here. So instead of going into like a fight or flight stressed out mode, I go into this playful, let me see how many subways I can catch as they're leaving, how many green lights I can imagine happening, so that I can somehow get past Manhattan traffic, get 5 miles uptown in like 26 minutes, when the GPS is telling me it's going to take 55. And I've done it. I've done it over and over, because we have that ability. You have that ability. Each and every one of you do. And I'm sure some of you have had some experiences like that, where you're like, holy shit. What happens when you let go of time? You mark time and time will mark you. That's for sure. And the reason why sometimes it passes so quickly is because you're present, you're in the moment, you're focused on what you're doing, and time just has a way, right? Time is nonlinear, just like consciousness. Both things, yes, we're experiencing one through the other, or I should say with the other, but it's important to remember, when you say a prayer for someone, when you send someone energy, when you open your heart and you do that, like I do that for Toby. I'll do that for Toby later. I'm going to send him some energy. Toby is going to receive that energy as soon as he can. And what I mean is that energy has to go someplace. And because where we put our attention, that's where energy goes. So, remember that throughout your day too. Where your attention goes, energy flows, right? So when I send Toby healing energy from my heart, from source, and I just use myself as a channel, that energy is going to arrive at Toby. It may get to Toby, and it may have a lot to work through before Toby feels incredibly different than he did, but it will happen. The energy always goes somewhere. It has no choice. It can't just dissipate, right? And anyone who's been the recipient of a coherence healing at any point in their life will tell you that it is absolutely one of the most profound and powerful experiences they ever had. And whether you're doing it, so I learned to do this through my tutelage with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and there's a great book about this called, I think it's called The Power of Eight by Lynn McTaggart, I want to say. And it's that puts the concept into it, but we call it a coherence healing. And then we call it a remote coherence healing, because you don't need to have the person laying in front of you. All you need is a target. All you need is a picture. Sometimes all you need is a name, and you can send energy to that person. And I'm telling you, there's groups that I'm a part of that have been doing this. We just get the picture, we get the diagnosis, and we go to work. We do a 30-minute coherence healing. We're all sending heart energy to this person, and the results are astounding. I obviously recommend Dr. Joe Dispenza for everyone who's on a healing journey. He's been a game changer for me. I'm a student of his. it was through his meditation techniques that I came into enough knowledge to start to seek out other modalities. And, you know, he's in large part one of the reasons why I'm sitting here right now, able to talk to you fluently about all these things, because I've learned so much from him and Bruce Lipton, you know, and Greg Braden. And these are all teachers who I can't recommend enough. They all have a gift to give. Anita Morjani, you should watch my podcast that I did with Anita. What an incredible gift she is. She'll teach you about your body's ability to heal. Go listen to her story. Go listen to her story, and you'll understand that anything is possible when it comes to the human body. I swear, I went to a Dr. Joe retreat. I'm wearing the same pants I wore that I got at that retreat. They're like these cute little pajama pants. I mean, they're not little, but anyway. And Dr. Joe said, he told us this, and you know, like anyone else could say this and I wouldn't believe it. But when Dr. Joe says it, you're like, wow. He was like, you know, I hear things all the time in this community that I just never thought I would. I continually have to rewrite what I imagine is possible. And he told us about this woman. He was like, I swear, he was like, I never thought, you know, that I would hear, that this could be possible. But one woman who had her prostate removed, I think like because of chronic and cancer diagnosis, she grew her prostate back. Not like cartilage, not like a circumvention of what, like her literal prostate. Like, and the doctors didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, and I saw the scans, and like another woman grew part of her thyroid back, like that she had to have removed. And like all these things were supposed to be like literally impossible. Like technically, medically, they would tell you, no, you can't fucking grow. No, you can't grow your prostate back. No, if you tear this tendon, you're never gonna walk again, you need the surgery. Yeah, that's what they said about this bicep too. That I would never be able to articulate. I was like, you know what? I don't believe any of you guys. And I was fucking boxing again in 3 weeks. I didn't have the surgery. I don't believe them. I believe in our incredible ability to heal, and you should too. And remember that allopathy and pharmaceuticals are the third leading cause of death in America. So, you know, I mean, if you're gonna go and you gotta go, I understand. But, you know, remember there are alternatives that are not the third leading cause of death in this country. That's all I'm saying. You know, be smart to remember that. Okay, I got new contacts specifically so that I could read the comments better. But guess what? I got this tattoo worked on, finished about a week ago, and this eye has been mad at me since. You see how it's a little swollen? And so even though I use these contacts and I was like, they work, I'll be able to read my comments. This eye is like a little blurry from, I don't know why it's acting up. Let me see, where am I here? Okay, I'm catching up, guys. YouTube, thanks for bearing with me here. Hey Diana, good to see you. Okay, I can read my comments. It's funny, the left eye is supposed to be the one that I can read with, and of course this is my eye is blurry, so I'm sorry guys. I was gonna wear glasses, but they look crazy. Okay, when we stop showing life what it is and allow it to show us, we win the game. That's right, Kate. When we can let go of the ideas that we had, the attachments we had, and allow ourselves to evolve into, listen, Source, Spirit, God, the universe will show you your calling. It will unveil your purpose. If you're one of those people who is looking for it, who is like trying to figure out what the fuck they're doing on this planet, first of all, you're not alone. There's a great many human people all across the world who are in the same boat as you. So don't feel like, you know, that is a personal thing. There are so many people who are trying to figure out what they're doing here. And what I say to them is, first get clear and get healthy with yourself. And, you know, find a way out of survival mode. because you cannot figure out what you want to do on this earth or what you love to do if you're in survival mode. And I know many people have jobs, and I know this economy is shit regardless of what Trump says. I know everything costs more than it used to, okay? But where there's a will, there's a way. And I'm telling you that if you can find a way to remove the habitual addiction that you have to stressing the fuck out every day over something or nothing, and many people fall into that category. I used to. We are addicted to stress, and stress is a survival mode program. Stress will keep you from your creativity. Stress will keep you from your joy. You can't be stressed and happy, period. You can't. It's literally physiologically impossible. So if your day-to-day life is bringing in stress, then you need to either reframe and recontextualize how you're going about your day or find a new routine. Most of the time, the success is going to lie in finding a new routine. There are some people with the ability to recontextualize. And listen, guys, this is one of the greatest tools. You know, when your thoughts start to go dark, you know, and you start that downward spiral, if you recontextualize or redirect one or the other, what is happening and what you're thinking about, then you're going to remain more in the vibration of joy, of exuberance, of gratitude, than if you don't try to practice those techniques. You can get really good at redirecting. And so when a thought comes up, and you say, you know, and then put your focus on something else. And sometimes that's where it helps to, you know, like you find ways to do it, you know, like pick something up like this crystal and start counting the dots. Because guess what you're not doing if you're counting the dots? You're not thinking about that thing that you were just about to stress the fuck out and obsess over for 45 minutes and then look at your clock and be like, where the fuck did the time go? Oh my God. Now I feel terrible. Now I'm really stressed out. What good has that done you? Recontextualizing and redirecting your thoughts is a powerful tool. It will help keep you in alignment. Let me see what else. Hey, Tyner, good to see you. What else did I miss? Yes, Lynn McTaggart. Kate, I knew you'd be able to confirm if I got that right. Mom and I did Power of 8 with her in Toronto. Nice. Yeah. Let me see. Anita does a lot of events with Lynn, Bruce, and Greg. Yes, she does. I'm excited to see them again. Do women have a prostate? I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, Kate. Maybe I got the wrong thing, but do they? Yeah, they do, don't they? Doesn't everyone? Is it just men? Was wondering the same thing. Pancreas? Thyroid? I know it was a thyroid. I know one was a thyroid. Maybe it was a guy who did. It was a dude who did the. I'm an idiot. It was a dude who did the prostate, and a woman who regrew part of her thyroid, the part that was cut out because of a surgery. Yeah, my bad. Thank you for that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. That makes a lot more sense. Body code is a cool tool to try at home. Okay. Let's see. Get right with self and God and fear nothing and all will be well. Kate, stop taking the words out of my mouth. Guys, fear is a killer. And fear is a misunderstanding. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of fear that you feel like if a car is coming at you. I'm talking about the overall predominant fears that people go about their life in, not conscious of the fact that that is keeping you in a limited state, not just physically, but spiritually and emotionally. So fear is always a great subject to talk about because fear is the reason why this human race has given away its sovereignty. We've been scared right out of our power in every way as a society and many of us as an individual. And we will never reach our potential. We will never, as long as we let ourselves be scared and cowed, whether the events that have taken place are truly scary or not. When you come into the realization that you can't go anywhere, that you're going to go from this life to the next, and this is going to be like the dream. This is the dream, because this is the only place we experience time. And every night you put your head down, you go to sleep. Where do you think your consciousness goes? You think it just hangs out in your body? No, it's like, woohoo, I'm free, and it goes. It goes and it hangs out and it does things and it takes its own classes and it plays with its own people and it learns its own lessons. And then it comes back to you at the end of the day after you've had your maintenance done and your body takes the garbage out. Then your consciousness comes back in and is like, oh, this is better now. Well rested here. Make better decisions tomorrow. Right? That like, and where I was going with all that is fear is a killer. Do you understand that almost every kind of chronic disease and diagnosis comes from stress and poor lifestyle choices? And most of the time those lifestyle choices are made because of stress. I mean, the shitty ones, right? So what are you guys, like, what are you doing if this isn't your priority? You like, what are you doing? I know that times are not easy for a lot of people. And I know a lot of people are working 2 jobs. They're just trying to get by. I understand all that. But if that is the only priority, then you're still putting the cart before the horse. No, the horse before the cart. Damn it. I'm like backwards when it comes to carts and prostates today. Anyway, if you're just tuning in, you missed that joke. Let me see here. Survival mode. Oh man, my eye. Survival mode. In it more often than not. So relenting. Listen, survival mode served us in our earlier years on this earth when we were in the woods, in the caves, right? And even then, survival mode, it had to be limited. The body cannot take sustained survival mode. You will end up in an early grave, period. And if you're someone who puts other people in survival mode very often, just a reminder, you're putting your loved ones in an early grave, okay? Like, you should be aware of that. You shouldn't go on imagining that if you continue to stress everyone the fuck out in your life, that there will be no repercussions. Because one day you'll end up bedside at a hospital with that person. And they probably wouldn't be there, at least for another 5 to 10 years, if you didn't, through your own actions, allow them to have such a distressed anxiety about you. Period. If people are always worried about you, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Show them you don't need to be worried about. Don't always assume the problem is with them. Most people don't understand that they're responsible for their own feelings. Do you understand? Of course you understand. Most people think everything is happening to them. And it takes a very evolved soul to say, you know what? I'm not going to react like that. I have no control over this. That is not most people, right? You understand that? So you cannot give people that benefit of the doubt because most people are not evolved enough to understand that they are truly the ones who make themselves anxious, stressed out. That is their reaction and they have complete power over it. So there's 2 sides to it. But in the world that we live in where most people have given their power away, shed their responsibility about how they feel, and they think that everyone is making them feel that way, then you have to realize that if you can do something about that, then do something about that. Don't let people worry. Worrying is like praying for what you don't want. It's the worst. And God, I just can't bear the thought of my loved ones worrying about me. I'll climb a mountain to give them a signal to relieve that, but that's just who I am. That's how I am. That's who I am. I'll do just about anything to make sure that people aren't worried about me, because I guess I tune into that kind of anxiety, and it's too much. Like I don't want to put them through that. Anyway, let's see here. Where was I? Where was I? Just men. Okay, we cleared up the prostate thing. I'm sorry, that was my mistake. What's up? What's up, brother? Hey, Sam. Haven't checked in a while. You know, Trump is an op now. I know Trump's a lot of things right now. None of them are good. What a fucking disappointment. We're not going to talk politics tonight. We're not going to talk politics tonight, YouTube. We're not going to talk politics tonight. I've been a garbage sleeper since I was 18. Maybe you meant it. Sleeper? A garbage sleeper. Since I was 18 months old. Now I know why my lessons learn. Now I know why my lessons take so long to learn. I never sleep. Sleep is another subject we could definitely talk about, you guys. John, listen. I was listening to Zach. I know Kate knows. Dr. Zach Bush is an incredible human being. Very enlightened. He was a triple board certified physician. He was like a real Doogie Howser, MD. Most of you will not get that reference. Maybe some of you will. You guys are as old as I am. Dr. Zach Bush, he was talking about, so this is a man who, you know, he through his own research stumbled upon a cure for the big C, and of course was naive and like reached out to the pharmaceutical agencies, and they were like, yeah, what did you say I was doing again? Okay, yeah, we already own that patent. And he was like, wait, what? You know, and they shut down his research. And that's why I tell people, don't ever give to cancer research. It's a black hole. Their job is to make sure no cure ever comes out. Don't waste your money. Don't ever be guilted, you know, into giving any, not even a cent to any cancer foundation ever on this planet. It is a scam. It is a black hole. If they use that money for anything, it's to make sure no one is finding a cure for cancer. So don't waste your fucking time or your money. It's hard earned. And that is not, you know, give it to a homeless person before you give it to fucking cancer research. The cure for cancer is, you guys honestly think the cure for cancer hasn't been found 1,000 times over and then destroyed and hidden and shelved? And what do you think the United States government is about? The medical industrial complex is part of the military industrial complex now. And population control and making money is what they're about. And that's why we have endless wars, new diseases every day, turbo cancers. It's all compliments of the United States fucking government. How did we veer off into such a negative subject? Redirecting in real time. Okay. What were we talking about? Something very important. I sleep beautifully. Oh yeah, we're talking about sleep. That's right. Thank you, Kate. Kate, it's a good thing you're here tonight. You're leaving me. Okay, great, Kate. I'm on my own. Speaking of sleep, I'm going to. Good night, Kate. Thank you for keeping me on track tonight. Anyway, let's see. Where else was I? Some of us are older than you. I'm sure. Peace. But Pam, I'm older than I look. Doogie Howser, MD. I used to love that show. I thought it was so cool. Like the beginning with the typing. Okay, donate to sick folks. That's right. Literally fucking. Same goes for diabetes. And yeah, literally. Fucking yes. You know, I mean, allopathy is just, it's a Rockefeller invention. I don't even want to get going on that because that's the one subject that will get my time limit collapsed even more on this. But let's go back to what we were saying in the beginning, okay? Time travel is true, and accessing the future you, because when you so a reminder for everyone just joining, okay? Thoughts are electric, feelings are magnetic. When you have a thought about something and then you can tune into the feeling and open your heart, you begin to draw that to you, whatever it is, whether it's a person, whether it's a place, whether it's an event, whether it's something that you've been looking for, that thing is also looking for you. There is an energetic signature to both. And if you can bring them into alignment, then you can usher that into your reality. It doesn't matter what it is. It'll show up somehow. And you don't have to even know exactly what it is. It can just be the feeling. People think that they want $1 million. If they had $1 million, they'd be happy. First of all, no amount of money is ever going to make you happy. It might provide you with a little bit of security and freedom to feel and do things that are going to make you happy, but it's not going to make you happy overall. It's more Chi-Chi's in the house. I dream every single night. It's awesome, like going on an adventure. I've been remembering my dreams too. I've been rereading Seth Speaks by Jane Roberts, The Validity of the Soul. It's such a fantastic book. If you want to learn about the nature of reality and the nature of reincarnation and this endless existence that we have and all the choices that we are given, the gifts we are given with our free will, read by Jane Roberts, read Seth Speaks. It is, I read it 5 years ago, and I guess I'm a different person now because I'm reading it again, and it's just blowing my fucking mind. It's such a great, great book. I had cozy dreams all week and had to remember most of them. So Seth talks about different techniques to remember your dreams, and so I've been using them, and I've been remembering more of my dreams. Great subject, dude. I just decided to check this out, and you got me interested. Nice, great topic. We are spiritual travelers. We are, my friend. JP, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you tuned in, and this hit your ears in the right way. Listen, guys, many of you have heard this. Seth Speaks by Jane Roberts. That's right, Karen. Thank you. Incredible book. Fantastic. If you want to learn about reality in all of its facets, Seth is a fantastic teacher. Hey, Lady Kate, good to see you. Alas, someone who really understands the way the world works. Thank you, Niles. Sorry, my eyesight is not what it once was, and then this left eye is acting up. It's mad at me for getting more ink. I got this tattoo finished, finally. See it? Anyway, it hurt like hell. Where was I? Oh yeah. We were talking about fear. We were talking about accessing the future you. So fear will keep you in a limited state, obviously. And then we talked about sleep and how important that is, and dreaming, right? And then we talked about feelings and thoughts. And what I'm reminding everyone who's just tuning in on IG is that what you're seeking is seeking you. And the only thing in the way is, in all likelihood, a set of programmed beliefs about how that thing can show up, how it should show up, or how it would never show up. We have to examine our limiting beliefs because they will keep us from everything. They will keep you stuck in whatever it may be. It's fear that keeps people stuck in a lot of religion. Fear that they're going to be damned forever. When you do things out of fear, the only result is a self-replicating fear. You're just going to, it's a never-ending cycle. You should never do anything because you're afraid, right? That is not the best place to make decisions of. It's not the best place to operate from. Two sides of the spectrum: fear and love. If you can do as much as you can from a state of love, and then the return that you're going to get, the receipts that you're going to get from acting from that place, that's an investment that's going to pay off the rest of your life. I promise you. Hi, Constantly Consciously. What a great IG name. So there's a future you, and that future you is calling you to you, and whatever it is that you think you're looking for. I was saying earlier, it's like looking in a three-way mirror. Did you ever go to like a dressing room or a doctor's office sometime, and you look down and you see you, right? Those are all yous. That's a perfect illustration of the amount of timelines and choices that are at your disposal, right? And pick one. What does that one have? What does she have? What does he have that maybe you want in your life? And you can begin to align with that personality, that version of you. And all you have to do is bring into coherence your heart and mind. And when you're in alignment, you're like a magnet, man. You become like a magnet to the things that you want. And anybody who has practiced this enough and experienced it will tell you that I'm not just saying that, that is quite literally the experience that we have when you get good at this. And this shit works. I mean, it absolutely is. It is the way reality functions. It is cause and effect. If you want to break it down as simply as possible, it's cause and effect. We always get what we don't want. So, we always want what we don't have. So what's next steps? So we always want what we don't have. You mean like the grass is greener on the other side? Listen, there's two ways to look at that, okay? That's like looking at the glass and saying it's always half empty instead of saying it's always half full. It's just a slight switch in mindset, right? Like the grass is always greener on the other side for people who are never satisfied for what they have. People who are satisfied with what they have enjoy their grass, and they can be happy that the grass is so green on that side too. And that's a mindset shift. You know, look, it took me so long to get to this point. I was an actor in a very competitive market, and you know, I would have peers who I even called my friends, and they would get a role that I may have been right for, and I would have to pretend that I was happy for them and not pissed that I wasn't the one chosen for so long. And I realized the folly in that, you know, that's complete folly. You know, like if you can't be happy for another human being when they get theirs, you're never gonna get yours. You gotta find out what's going on with you that you can't be happy for another human being. You know, like, because jealousy and envy, that is just another way that you crush your own probabilities. It's not a place to operate from. You know, when you see someone get something they've worked hard for, or even if they just get lucky and they just get it, be happy for that person. Celebrate that. Okay, this is gonna sound crazy, but did we ever have this conversation before? I'm having some instant replay. Dang, it's getting old. I can't believe this, and I can't of the word help. Anyway, I'm not sure what you were trying to say with that. But you know, like, and I have a twin brother, you know, and Toby can tell you that, you know, twins are usually one of two ways, either extremely competitive and at each other's throats, or very loving, and I happen to be the former with my brother, you know. But you know, you should have the ability to be happy for someone when they accomplish something, not pretend. And if you don't, then you have some work to do on this part right here, this heart. And that's important, because I'm telling you, those emotions will keep you from what you want. You can't be the one celebrating until you can celebrate with someone else. That's the way it works. I've learned that with everything. And I am happy for people across the board when they get what they want. Even if sometimes they get what they want, it's not going to be the best thing for them. They're going to have to learn that the hard way anyway. Be happy for them, right? Like, that's a mindset shift. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because then the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And you know, when you're framing things in absolutes, that again, many people do this. You know, it's like all or nothing. Well, like you're having a conversation with them, and you're like, no, this is what happened, and you're like, oh, I guess I'm just a fucking idiot then. I guess you know. Then everything becomes black or white. And you know where that comes from? That comes from an arrested development as a child. That when people go into absolutisms, they're like, well, it's either him or me. You know, if he goes out to dinner, then I'm not going. Like, wait, like what? Like, can we talk about this? You know, like, they're a relative too. You know, we all want to go out to dinner for the holidays. Why the fuck do we gotta? Why the fuck we gotta choose, man? You know what I mean? Like, why you gotta bring this drama into what's supposed to be a celebration? Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Go with the flow. Don't be the one fucking drawing all kinds of lines in the sand, especially if they're superficial. You know, like. Anyway, what I'm saying is the grass doesn't always need to be greener on the other side. You can go with the flow, and it's not about not having boundaries. It's not about not taking your time that you need. It's not about those things. Those things are part of what is healthy. But I'm talking about people who react in a way that is like, like fucking reminds me of like what George Bush said after 9/11. If you're not with us, you're against us. Yeah. What? What? Like, that is a grown man speaking like a child to an entire nation who is nodding their head like children, being like, yeah, if you're not with us, you're against us. That's it. Like, those kind of absolutisms, they come from arrested development. And the reason why so many people shake their head when some idiot like George Bush says that is because their childhood was also arrested. That's the way it works. Anyway, I'm going to take some comments, and then I'm going to rest my eyes. There are many color grids too. That's right. That's right, oh world. There is more. Listen, do you ever go to Ireland on a sunny day? What do they say? 46 shades of green? It's amazing. It's not sunny that often in Ireland, but when it is. So I am gonna, I'm gonna see, I'm gonna have any comments here. Constantly have to tell my older brother that all the time. Toby, I know how you feel, brother. I always, like, Toby, sometimes there's nothing you could do. Like my brother is very competitive. Like, he ran a Ironman marathon like fucking 10 years ago, and he posted pictures on Facebook, and I was like so happy for him. I was like, like truly happy to see him, doing his thing. I post a video of myself boxing, and he's fucking, he can't bring himself to like it, and if he makes a comment, it's derogatory. I mean, it's like he just can't be happy for me sometimes. He can't bring himself to it. He's working on it though. I love him. Anyway, if you guys don't have any questions for me, I'm going to call it a night because my left eye is going crazy. Listen, thank you to everyone who joined tonight and who listened. I appreciate you guys. Thank you to everyone on YouTube listening. We talked about a lot of important and relevant things. If you're just tuning in, I'm sorry, I'm just signing off, but the title of this video gives you a great idea if you want to watch the replay I'm about to post. Came in late. Old thanks for the invite, but I will be looking for you next time. Thank you, my friend. Truancy, good to see you, man. Hey, Yolanda. Good to see everyone. Energies to your eye. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Dude, you got wisdom. Thank you, JP. I appreciate you guys. Listen, I go live every Saturday night. I have a podcast that premieres on YouTube every Friday. I'm shooting a podcast tomorrow with an incredible psychic who's also very wise. Thank you, Toby. Hope you feel better, brother. Check out my YouTube channel, guys. Everyone on YouTube, obviously, you've already checked it out. But many of you guys who follow me on Instagram, you would love my podcast. It's called Far Out with Faust, and it's on YouTube, and it's also across the board on all audio platforms. But if you guys enjoy me hearing me speak, you'd love the subjects we talk about. It's called Far Out with Faust, JP. Faust is my first name, and my YouTube channel it's linked in my bio right here. We put out a podcast every Friday. We have a few different series we do. We put out a short every day. Shorts are how I've grown most of this following. Shorts, reels they're called here. But I appreciate you guys very much. Yeah, there's a link in my bio, JP, if you want to check it out. And I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. It's Saturday night, and I love this time we have together. So much love to all of you. Thanks to everybody who joined, both on YouTube and IG. And have a blessed Sunday tomorrow with your families. Maybe it is Sunday already for some of you. Spend it with the ones you love, doing something you love. It'd be good for your soul. God bless you guys. And God bless you guys on YouTube. Love you guys.